ReZero Season 3 is coming up here soon, and I've watched a few previews for it, and I am excited and a little worried. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few of my thoughts on this. Now, as of me making this, I think the first episode has already been released. I think it was at a Comic Con or something. I have not seen it yet, so I will not be commenting on that at all. I'm just going to be referring to three-ish previews that I have seen. So if you haven't seen those yet, go watch them. This will make a little more sense if you have. And I'm going to do my absolute best to avoid any major spoilers for the actual story. There's going to be a few spoilers in here because there's a few things that I want to talk about. But it's not going to be anything major. It's not going to be anything related to the actual story. So I'm not going to be a dick on that part. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I like to break the story up into arcs. And this season is supposed to cover arc 5. And I've heard hints that it's also going to have arc 6. I don't know if that's true. None of the previews that I saw had anything for arc 6. So it's not impossible for them to do so. The arc 6 is a little shorter, so it's possible that they do it's a 24 episode. I don't know if it's a 24, but if they do a 24 episode season, they could have most of it be arc 5 and then have arc 6 at the end. Again, I don't know. It's not impossible. Personally, I hope they don't. But we'll see. It's been a while since I've read the web novel, but I was 20, 30 chapters into the 7th arc whenever I stopped. So I already know everything is going to be covered in this season, regardless of if they do both arcs or not. So let's start off on some good news first. So arc 5 is actually my favorite arc. There's just so many things that they do right in this arc that I am actually not super worried about how they're going to cover the story at all for the anime, because I think it's possible for them to fuck it up, but everything that I've seen in the previews, I really doubt that they're going to stray too far from it. It seems like it's going to be good. I'm not worried about that part at all. One big difference, this is a cause of possible concern, is that this season is very action heavy. ReZero has always been more story focused, and the action that's been there has been middle of the road, I guess. There's nothing in there that's going to blow your socks off, but there's also nothing in there that's going to be so bad that it distracts from the story. It's been fine. Like, I don't have anything to complain about, but this season is different. This season has a lot of action, a lot of fights, and I'm a little worried that middle of the road is not going to cut it. From the previews, from everything that I've seen, granted, it has been very short clips, so I may be making a leap here out of hope. But I think it seems to look better than what it has in the past. Again, I don't know for sure, that we haven't really seen enough to know, but I am hoping that maybe, just maybe, the fight scenes are going to be a little bit better than what they have been in the past. And they don't have to be amazing. They don't have to pull out some Demon Slayer shit. Just something better than what they've done in the past, I guess. And the reason that there is just so much action is because this is an all-out war. And this isn't like a spoiler or anything. This is a part of the trailers that are shown. It's very obvious that's what's going to be happening. And every major player, pretty much through the story so far, shows up here all at once, like good side and bad side. And there was all of the characters and all of the people that show up here. The web novel actually does a really good job of giving each person time in the story. Hopefully, the anime will follow along the same idea and not try to rush through it in order to get another arc into the same season, which is part of the reason why I don't want them to throw in arc 6 for this too. I want them to just take their time with arc 5, because I think they can stretch it out. That's a bad word. I think they can fill the entire season with just arc 5. Okay, I had two major worries before I watched the trailers. And these are both going to be more personalized to me, so we're going to see if anyone else cares about these at all. The first one is Amelia's fighting style. In the anime, she is very much magic focused, with A little bit of physical, but not really anything major for that. But in the web novel and the light novel, she is a lot better at mixing the two. She'll go in and punch the fuck out of you and use magic at the same time. And the for arc 5, her fighting style changes a little bit. And from the web novel and the light novel, it's a natural progression. It makes sense for why she is doing what she's doing in this arc. And it helps her fight on her own. It looks like from the trailers that the anime is going to be going more for that, which is good because I was going to be pissed if they went in and said, no, 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 we're going to keep with just showing Emilia as a magic user and not both. Again, I'm probably the only person in the world who cares about that. But I am glad to see that they changed it. And my other concern I still kind of have. So my favorite character for this arc is Garfield, and it's not even close. From his internal conflict to his backstory to his fights, everything about him and his story is just done so well within this arc. And I am worried that the anime is just not going to do it justice. There are a few snippets within the trailers that kind of cover some of the points that I was worried about. So I'm not as worried about them dropping the ball on this. And it's the same studio. I think it's still White Fox that's doing this. And I think they've done a great job with the story in the past seasons. So I am choosing to place a little bit of hope in them that they will be able to cover this part well. But I am still worried nonetheless. I do want to throw in one final point here for anyone that doesn't know the story for Arc 5. Liliana is a new character, and she's probably going to suck. Okay, she's probably not going to be that bad. As a web novel reader, a lot of the comments that I saw were about how much everyone hated her specifically, and I don't completely disagree. I think a lot of the problem with her character is more about the writing than her. But I think just to be safe, it is better to just go ahead and lower your expectations on her before going into the story. Again, I don't think that she'll actually be that bad in the anime, but she was very annoying in the web novel, so I think if you go in with that expectation for the anime, then at worst you'll get exactly what you expected, and at best you will be pleasantly surprised. I don't know why she's the only one that causes problems. All of the other characters are great. And that's part of the reason why I like this arc so much. I try not to say any major spoilers, so I'm going to keep this as vague as I can. Part of the reason that I like this arc is because of Subaru and Emilia. Their characters in this arc are just better than what they were in the past seasons. You can definitely see the progression with Subaru throughout the seasons, and I think in this one he is even more useful than what he has been in the past, which is fucking mind-blowing. And I would say the same for Emilia. She's not super useful, but she is far more useful than she has been. Anyway, that's just my quick thoughts that I had after watching a few of the trailers. And despite my worry and complaining that I've done in this video, I am excited for the next season. And I do think it's going to be a really good season. So that's really all I wanted to say. See ya.